Human beings have empathy. Some woman will fall in love. Well, he's nice. He wears a sweater. He likes to bake. You know. He lets me finish my stories. Which is all great qualities. Okay? But you gotta know, when you shack up with a guy like that, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice that fucking axe murderer is gonna pick the next house over. Because God forbid he picks your goddamn house. This is the dude who has your back, who's gonna be screaming louder and higher than you when this guy comes through the fucking door. And you're gonna turn around and all you're gonna see is his cowardly feet going out the kitchen window. I don't know, man, that's risky. You know, reality, I'm being too hard on that guy, you know? Yeah, I am, because I was just as scared as he was. Except I didn't scream out like he did. And that's simple. The simple reason was this dude, he was hugged too much as a child. Having people go, how was your day? What's wrong? And all of that shit, you know? That's why I came down here, man, I'm telling you. I came out here to tell you guys, you gotta stop hugging your children. You know? You are ruining this country. Now, you can hug your daughters. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You gotta do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you gotta fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. None of that shit. First time my mom hugged me, I think it was like once when I was little, and then when I moved out. That was it. And we only hugged because we knew we were supposed to. So we just tried to it was like 2 parking meters came to life. Like, we almost bumped heads. It was horrific. Fucking horrific. You know, to this day, sometimes I drive down the street and I think about that hug, and it's just it's so awful, I have to shout the memory out of my head. I'll just be driving down the street, just be like, ah! Ah! Anybody else like that? You ever have to shout stuff out of your head? There's something about me, all my regret comes up when I'm in the shower. I don't know what it is. I think because I'm in the shower and I have time to think. And I'll just think of shit I did in 3rd grade, where I just made an ass of myself, and I just will be in the shower just being like, ah! Ah! And my wife's always just like, is everything okay in there? And I'll just be like, yeah, just accidentally turn on the hot water. Turn it on too much. Every day? So, yeah. I actually asked my mother one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted. I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So. Yeah. So she basically never hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, can it go too far? Last night at the Tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. So, yeah, this is the deal. I'm going to defend my dad here because this is basically what happens when you have a kid. As far as I know, I don't have any kids, but as far as I would think, if you have a fucking kid, what do you want to do? You want to improve on your childhood, okay? You want to keep the shit that your parents did that worked, and then you want to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. So that was my dad, as fucked up as that was his improvement on his childhood that he never talks about, the way a veteran doesn't talk about going to war, you know? So I figure if that was his improvement on his childhood just must have been something like, don't change his shitty diaper. Let him figure it out for himself. Get out in the rain, you shitty baby. Hey, let me handle this, lady. Why are you still standing here, you shit toddler? So, he took it from that and knocked it down to, don't hug him, it's going to make him gay. Right? And then maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class. All right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady. Let me handle it. I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do any of that shit unless I'm sending him to one of those fame high schools, you know, where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools. You go to the cafeteria, everybody's like, cottage cheese, what is it made of? Right? Like, then he can do all he wants. Then he can do all the fuck he wants. But there's no way I'm letting him do that at a public school with those goddamn animals. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him. He's gonna come home with his underwear up his ass, and then I have to be the adult and go down to the principal and be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? You wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. So, yeah, a lot in my life has changed since I last came through here to Atlanta. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties. It was just weird because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married. They all had kids. And I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know? I feel like a little kid. They're sitting there going like, oh, the superintendent of the mayoral candidate of the bi-coastal bipartisan with the Middle Eastern crisis. And just... All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that's. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but. I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning. And then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? How did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? You take some of that fucking anger. Yeah. I feel so stupid that I got mad at that woman. I shouldn't have got mad at her. I should have bought her a beer. And just listened to her troubles and had empathy and be like, that's not your fault. You married a woman. I did it too. You're not going to win. There's no winning this. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, do a little people watching. Take a look at the look on the average lesbian's face. All right? I don't mean a lesbian in her 20s. She's got a whole life ahead of her. She's got Christmas in her eyes, right? I mean a lesbian about 35, 36, starting to settle into what the deal's going to be, right? And then look across the bar, find a married guy about the same age. Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on her face. Go back to his face. It's the same fucking look. Yeah. And then look at gay guys. Some of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. They're almost too happy. It's like, hey, how's it going? They're like, hi! Almost floating across the room with that lack of estrogen just yanking down your fucking dreams. Now look, it might be a front. I'm not saying all gay guys are just blissfully happy, but it's looking like a pretty good time to me. Dude,
they're some of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Any idea you have, they support it. They're just like, yes, yes, queen, yes, you're fierce, you can do it. Lesbians are up at the bar like a bunch of jaded cops. That's all fucking bullshit. What the fuck was I thinking? U-hauling after 10 days, moving in. What the fuck was I thinking? She's crazy! No, I'm telling you. I think married men and lesbians need to start hanging out more. And we got to put our heads together and try to solve our common problem, the women in our lives, so we can somehow attain the perceived happiness of the average gay dude out there. Yeah. So, if you believe in that shit, I'll give you some advice. If you're going to expand your fucking world of friends, I'll give you some advice. You can't just hang out with any lesbian. All right? You got to make sure you're hanging out with the dude in the relationship. Right? And by dude, I'm not saying she's manly. I'm not being ignorant. By dude, I just mean she's the one that gets blamed for most of the shit. Right? Because no relationship is balanced. Somebody is getting away with more. Somebody's drafting behind the other. It's like a bike race. Somebody else is taking the fucking weather in the face. Right? Somebody else is fucking right behind. Oh yeah, it really is wet. Just kind of hiding under your fucking poncho. Male, female, 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 they, whatever the fuck it is you're into. Every relationship, there's the person that does the dishes and the person that lets them soak, right? They don't let them soak. They know you're going to do them. They're just waiting you out. And after a while, you can't fucking take it anymore. They're just sitting there. You got to go out and you start doing it. And then what do? They sit in the other room and they wait like they don't know what you're doing. And they wait till they hear pots and pans. And that's when the show starts. That's when they come running in like, what? Oh, I was going to do those. What? And you're like, no, you weren't. They've been sitting there for 8 hours. I got my hands in room temperature water with scrambled eggs floating around. Don't gaslight me. You're a fucking animal. You were raised by animals. Get out of my sight. Don't yell at me. Right? Yes. Every relationship has the person that will take the trash bag out of the trash barrel and do a little tie it off, and then leave it slumped against the counter like it took two behind the ear and a mob hit. And then there's the person that actually picks it up and takes it out to the curb at night and puts it in the trash can, right? My wife's hilarious, man. I love her, but she's got some of the worst excuses ever. I'm like, why don't you ever take out the trash? She goes, I would, I'm just afraid of coyotes. I'm afraid of the coyotes. It's like, so am I. So am I. They're rabid dogs. They hunt in packs of 2s and 3s. You don't do it because you don't want to do it because you know I'm going to do it. Just get the fuck away from me, please. No, I'm telling you. So, anyway, I know I said a lot of divisive shit here tonight. So before I get out of here, I want to... Let's bring the room together. It's a very divisive time. Everyone wants to feel safe. Let's do a nice, normal, mainstream topic so everybody can drive home happy, no fights, all right? Sound good? All right, great. Let's talk abortion. There you go. Everybody has an opinion. It's my body, it's my right. Well, then fucking drive to Arkansas, bitch! Right? Everybody has an opinion. As do I have a really weird take on abortion. I'm going to tell you that right from the get-go, okay? I'm 100% pro-choice. Always have been. Ladies, I said it was weird. For the love of God, stop getting in the trunk of the car. Just wait to the end. You're supposed to vet me first. Woo! Fucking feed out the sunroof. I said I had a weird take. Pro-choice always made sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense. All right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. Like, I sit on the fence and the whole thing makes sense to me. Whatever anybody's saying, like, don't tell me what to do. It's my body, my choice. That's right, man. She's right. Leave her the hell alone. Oh, you're killing a baby. Well, I mean, there is that. You know? I mean, if we're going to be honest, that is the whole purpose of the procedure. You know, you're not going in there because you got an earache. You're going in there because you're like, I got a baby in me, get the fuck out of here. Right? You walk in with a baby, you come out without one. What happened to the baby, right? Something fucking happened. So, pro-choice people are like, well, it's not a life yet. It's not a baby yet. If you do, I don't know what they say. Before you do the first Thursday or the last Tuesday, and you spin around one time, they dance between the raindrops. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck? You just ruined my birthday cake. And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right? Now, before all you pro-life people get excited, I think it's great you're killing your babies. It's fantastic. Help Mother Nature out. There's too many of us. It's been 130 degrees out. Animals are going extinct. There's plastic in the fucking ocean. We don't need any more fucking people. And especially, you know, if you're honest with yourself, have you done anything great with your life? Is the person you're banging doing anything great? The answer to both of those questions is no. What are the odds you're going to make a great person? I'm not saying you're going to make a bad person. You're just going to make another person that doesn't go when the light turns green because they're staring at their fucking phone. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. Let's bring them to a nice, normal, mainstream topic so everybody can drive home happy. No fights, all right? Sound good? All right, great. Let's talk abortion. There you go. Pro-choice always makes sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense. However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. Pro-choice people are like, well, it's not a life yet. It's not a baby yet. May or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck? You just ruined my birthday cake. And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. Well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right?
No, I think I know. I think I know how to raise a kid. You know what it is? You just play catch with them. That's how you raise a kid. You play catch with them. You just talk about life. You distract them by throwing the ball. They don't even notice you're filling their heads up with your theories. Right? You don't do it the old school way, the way your parents used to. Sit down across from you. You want to tell me about your day? Right? What's that, son? We're not going to church today. Fuck that. That's all a bunch of bullshit. God's everywhere, but I got to go down there to see him? Really? And he's mad at me down there and I owe you money? Go fuck yourself. It's not down, it's in here. They try to take it. It's in here. You do something good, you feel good. You do something bad, you feel bad, you know? Unless you're like a sociopath, then you don't feel shit. Unless you got somebody duct taped upside down in your apartment, you know? And if you do something like that, I want you to feel like you can come to me, you know? Yeah, come to me, confess all of that. We'll go down to the precinct, we'll tell them everything. Yeah, I'm gonna turn you in. This isn't fucking Dexter. What are you mind? Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that is. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the rope. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? I always say my wife, when my wife was pregnant, I would say my wife, you know, she's pregnant. And then I always have these people like, excuse me, you're supposed to say we're pregnant? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? It's like, well, I'm not a seahorse. So, I'm not fucking pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Look at her. She's putting on weight. Her feet are swelling up. You know, she's miserable. Fucking miserable. I'm still doing pull-ups. I'm crushing it. While being pregnant. I'm still drinking, smoking. Yeah.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig.
Love about sports is it's a great way to tap out from the news and just, you know, watch a game and get away from it. Now there's like all these causes are getting like attached to it. Like I was watching the World Series and I'm in the middle of watching the World Series and out of nowhere they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game and all of a sudden everybody stands up holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? Trying to watch a game here. You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest. No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. It's the worst. The fucking worst. It's all they do is bitch, moan, and complain. I had no idea how difficult it was to be a white woman in the United States of America. Evidently, it's really difficult. Always bitching. Do you have any idea what it's like to be me? Well, I imagine it would be slightly less awesome than my life. What happened to you today, sweetheart, huh? Did they not chill your rosé? You know? Was the trolley not running down at the mall? What happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face. You know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in a jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, quit your fucking whining. Look, here's a little caveat here, so you don't think I'm a complete asshole right out of the gate. All right, if you live in some honey boo boo lifestyle on the Appalachian Trail, you know, your uncle just banged you in the dirt. All right.
So your Christian background is part of the show.
Yes, and I wanted to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
you know what I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I
came on. That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know. We were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
I'm done. Okay. Sorry, just got like $9,000 to fucking fly here. You know what I mean? No offense, but there's no Eiffel Tower here. I think that's a little pricey. You're welcome! Thank you for not just laughing. Thank you for verbally letting me know that you appreciated that. Thank you! or someone doesn't know how to walk up home. That's that voice. Did you call? Did you call the plumber? Thank you. And when she said it not like I was 10 feet away. She said it like I was downstairs in the rec room. Changing a fuse or something. That's not it. Oh, it's still not working. All right, done. Okay. Thank you. She said it. Well, that's how I heard it. I'm kind of defensive. I don't know. Whatever.
I think this is where I want to go.
I can't believe you know where you're going. I never can understand how to get
Well,
the
then
car
why
back
don't you
from
shut up and enjoy the ride?
I looked at you and I knew you wanted an egg.
Did you see my Adam Sandler interview?
Kevin Nealon. Dude, people told me that you fanned out so bad. This is how much I love you. This is how much I love Bert Kreischer. When you were like this, hang on a second. Hang on, Adam, hang on a second. I have a story I want to tell.
Dude, the Me Too movement has killed the blowjob. My wife will not suck my dick on her knees ever again. It never will happen.
Because your stomach is pushing down her fucking neck.
Her face is tilted back like this on her forehead. Just,
Yeah. It's like going down in an 8-foot pool down to the bottom and not clearing your ears. I feel bad for your wife.
What do you do?
we're doing it
I
tonight.
don't understand why they just can't word it like so you can understand it. They always word it where like no means yes, yes means no, or there's something fucking attached to it that's not in the paragraph. I don't get any of that. You okay, Bert? Or did I,
Yeah. No, I was gonna say we're doing.
I don't want to talk politics, dude. I fucking hate talking politics.
Hey, listen, you motherfucker! I've tried to say the same sentence 4 times. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ! And then when I gave you time, you're like, "What, Bert? We're not talking." I was going to do it again, and you cut me off again.
Well, just tell me to shut up.
What's a flaw that Nia has that you love?
My wife is fucking gorgeous.
But what's a flaw?
And she has a fucking J-Lo body, dude. She's fucking gorgeous.
But what's a flaw that you see in her sometimes and you go, but now I love it?
Physical?
Anything. She can't be without flaw.
Oh, no, yeah, her fucking, personality shit. You're gonna get me in trouble here.
How do you pronounce the word C-E-M-E-N-T?
C-E-M-E-N-T?
Yeah.
Cement. Cement?
Cement.
Hey, let me tell you something. You keep talking wise, you're going to end up with a pair of cement shoes.
Cement.
Oh, that's right. That's how they say it. Cement. I didn't know that.
I lived with 2 lesbians in New York, and I was fresh out of college. I didn't know anything about anything diverse. And
I watch you two get it on while I have my shirt off? What did I say? And then I come on your face? No? That's not cool? I paid half my rent. Technically, why am I paying half? If you bitches, you should be a third and a third. If I'm paying 50%, I gotta be able to see the two of you go down on each other. And then they flipped out.
I pronounce a lot of words wrong, but like I think it's I always say like if I get a massage, it's a massage.
Massage?
A massage.
Massage.
Massage. Oh, okay. Here you go. How do you say? You ready for this? B-U-F-F-E-T.
Buffet.
Buffet.
Buffet. No, you don't. You're going to get your ass kicked. Hey, let's walk across this cement over to the buffet.
I am on the wagon, Bill. December 1st. All dry December. No booze. Going pescatarian. I'm cleaning my life. No cigars. I'm going healthy, Bill.
I got to tell you something, man. That's commendable too, because that's one of the hardest times. Is that a beer? I thought that was a Guinness you just poured.
No,
I was like, oh my God, I walked into a bit. What is that?
It's an iced coffee.
Dude, that would have been the greatest setup ever. And as I'm singing your praises, you just bust out a black and tan, whatever the hell that looked like.
For exactly $619,000 right there. You're right on the corner. You got coffee, coin laundry.
Well, that's the amazing thing about LA is like
breastfeeding.
Oh, there you go. We got to support that, right?
Yep.
What did you do if I rolled down the window and you saw this whole conservative side of me? Hey, take that inside! Take it inside! I don't have to look at that. English!
English! O-N-I-O-N.
You got to go slower, dude. I'm too dumb. There was just a lot of O's in that. I didn't know where you were going. O-N-I?
O-N.
On it, Joe Rogan.
O-N-I-O-N. You cut one and they make you
yeah. Now you're in my head because it seems so easy. Onion.
An onion. Onion.
I'm calling bullshit. You're just fucking with me.
No, it's A-N-A-H-N-I-O-N. So it's onion.
Onion.
Where did you get this sandwich?
Right down on the corner, this Italian place.
Yeah.
And I was nervous when I walked in because there was nobody in there, and they were playing Frank Sinatra music. And I was like, they're trying too hard. I mean, they already got the red and white, you know? He doesn't something, and she does this. She's got a big twat that I'm gonna kiss. It's the 1940s. I'll leave her on the side of the road.
I can still hit her. She talks back.
Yeah.
I love this neighborhood because it's closer to the airport, and that guy's scratching his balls with fucking extension cord. Did you just see that? That guy was just full on raking his pubes.
Yeah. You know that people wrote articles on your special, Paper Tiger. You know Paper Lion. You know that people got paid to do what? It was Paper Tiger?
I like Paper Lion better.
Paper Lion was the name of the book, right?
I don't know, but I love Paper Lion.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait a minute. Hey, we got a Paper Lion. I think that's gonna be the part 2.
Yeah.
Dude, you are my favorite comedian. I love Paper Lion. Thank you.
Here's a good one, okay? How do you pronounce pronunciation? This is really a fun fucking. So this is, do you see that, Bill?
Yeah.
It's not pronunciation. Pronunciation. It's pronunciation. Pronunciation.
No, you're getting too far into the sound spell. It's pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
But it's not pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Yeah, you're doing that. You're doing the Adam Sandler, Cajun man. Pronunciation.
Wait, would your wife get upset if she saw you looking at like Asian chick porn?
No.
What if it was white chick porn?
No.
So you can like float all the boundaries.
She understands that porno is not a real person.
No, I think my wife, if it was like Asian chicks, my wife would be like, "What's up with that?" Like she'd want me to be looking at porn that looks like her.
She's a white supremacist porn person?
Yeah.
They really did own slaves. The callback! Bam! That's how it works, people.
The 2 interviews are H3H3 and Theo Von, where everyone's like, did you see that interview? And by the way, knowing you, I don't see anything wrong with the interview.
I had a great time on the Theo Von thing. I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
I don't know either.
I left out. We had a good time. I showed him my truck. We had a great fucking time.
I thought you guys had a great time. I thought it was a great interview. I think it is, I knowing both of you, you were not you, and he was not him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll do his podcast again. And the thing about it is I understand his vibe more.
Yeah.
So it's just
his
like
vibe
anything.
is tough to gel with. Like if you're completely in the dark of what you're doing, it takes you a second to like double dutch into it.
He's one of my favorite comics.
Dude, he is.
Yeah, I don't
so
got it.
fucking funny.
Like People like to take a little fucking thing and then gas it up and make it something else. And then it becomes like, that's all they're doing.
That's
like,
all.
What's funny is the average douchebag on these fucking social media is no different than these giant corporate news agencies where they're just taking shit out of context to cause something that didn't even happen, so you'll stop and watch it so they can make money off of views.
Yeah.
And people on the internet do the exact same thing. They know exactly where to cut it, where to begin it, and where to end it to take it from a level 2 up to fucking 12.
I watched you and Theo's whole interview. Didn't find anything wrong with it, including what people will say is how it ended, which is you going, I have to go, I have to leave now.
Yeah, my kid was getting up. It had nothing to do with him.
And then I watched the you got to see this interview with Bill and Theo, and they chop it up to make it look like you don't like him, you don't get him. And
do they do that with Rogan, where they'll do like his reaction, that guy, and they totally make a completely different interview that didn't even happen.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me about that. That's all my interviews.
Yeah, so why would you watch that shit? I don't watch
it. I watch it, but I don't know. But that doesn't.
You know what? Fuck you, Bert.
They're gonna cut this up now.
Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? Like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, Yeah, and I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying, That's why, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking, that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. People are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, God damn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. Because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs. Get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? Time to man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. When you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You know, I got to hit it that hard. And then he can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it off, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then he goes, hey, you know, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, how she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400 grand a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400 grand a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned and saying, I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't
don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice that's it? They always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is to be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff, like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one. I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. Oh, it's a $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter, which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I got to make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for a rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. I think that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no. It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys had a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you.
It's all my ink. I have this mic on, so.
Yeah, that's all right.
Be a gentleman and help me out with my question.
Hey, Cody, can you believe that marriage didn't work out? Yeah, I can't believe your relationships don't work out.
You want me to be a soft, one of those Twitter tough guys? When guys come and sit on the couch, I go right after them. Don't you respect me for that?
No, I don't. Your big dumb desk hiding behind your microphone.
I respect you for keeping it real, Colin.
Yeah, I kept it 100.
What about when you call somebody out and then have them in front of you? That's punk. Can't do
No,
that.
but then you can actually just admit that you're wrong when the guy's delivering, because now he's delivering, he's still trashing.
Well, yeah,
him.
he's not admitting that he's wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
If we went to a movie together, would we sit next to each other? Would you want a seat between us?
Oh, Jesus.
Because that's a tough
I'd
deal.
want to sit like 9 rows behind you and just tug on your ponytail.
You savage.
That's what I would do.
I'm blind to...
Here, let me help out before you yell at me again.
There you go. The love. There's the love.
Isn't your idol Richard Pryor? Everybody?
All right, let's bring him up.
You don't idol Richard Pryor? Come on.
Good to see you,
It's
my
like
friend.
asking a guitar player if he likes Hendrix. I mean, he's the man.
All right,
He's the man.
all right.
See how I do that? You just ask me a question, all of a sudden I make it uncomfortable.
You
That's
didn't
what I
make me
do.
uncomfortable.
Nobody
I felt
brings-
good. I felt good.
Make sure
what
you're
do you mean
speaking
felt-
to the mic. Make sure you're speaking to the mic. There you go.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people out.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
Your giant desk.
I've been on the same tour for this hour for almost over a year now.
Dude, bands tour for like 4 years and then fucking go right back in the studio, make another one, and keep going. You got to toughen up, man.
Yeah, you're right, huh?
You know?
What do I
Your
do, you think?
camouflage hat, looking like a fucking backwoods guy, all tough and shit. You can't handle doing your hour again. I mean, come on, man. Suck it up.
I heard you have a terrible theory, and I want you to say this. So your theory on Boston is, let's just wait till LeBron's old. You don't want to be aggressive and get players.
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
You got misinformation.
What did you say?
Well, why would you say I have a horrible theory without checking with me first? It's like you already threw me under the bus.
Well,
I get it. You got a big desk.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
While people are talking about eating fake,
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't. But if the kid was in the fucking building,
before. Will you shut up? Jesus fucking Christ.
I got to tell you, the Laker fans are even worse. I can't stand them. At least Yankee fans show up at the start of the game. Those Laker fans, they show up in like the second quarter. They had to get like Botox before they came down to the game.
Oh, no.
Ouch. But you like living in LA, you said.
I love LA, and I like living there. I don't like their teams. I hate the Jets. I'm sick of people saying Rex Ryan is confident. He's not confident. That guy cries himself to sleep with a vat of ice cream every night. I'm not buying it. I thought you were laughing. You were fucking yawning over here.
No, the mushrooms are fucking killing me, man.
I knew it wasn't just weed. I was just like, there's no way I'm taking a hit off of that. There's something going on here.
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
You know how fucked up this is? He's shrooming, and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to.
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Really? Is that you in action, or is this another photo shot?
It's a photo shoot. People do photo shoots.
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever seen like a movie poster and you'll see a movie star
I have.
who's clearly 5'2", yet somehow he's as tall as the supermodel?
I have.
Yeah, that's a photo shoot. And they fix stuff. Look, I'm sorry you're just on the web, man. You took it to, he took it to this place. I'm not trying to shit on his website. What is it called again?
Huh? Zippitydoodah.com?
We've never taken a break in the middle of a gas.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game 1. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
Because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all that, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's
Yeah.
thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm gonna fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs.
Tip now to wear this. This is my nightclub look. Yeah, come on.
All right. This is. I guess this is the internet, right? You just sort of just throw it out there.
I just throw it out there. I figure you're a funny guy,
out there. I'll throw it out there too.
Well, here's the deal. Bill's a comedian. He's at the Punchline. He's in town, and you're a funny guy. You've got these routines in your head, so I figure I'll toss you a mic and you go.
And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV.
I'll take, how about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist cowboy.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
2
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
all right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
you know
I want
what I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I
came on.
Positive.
That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
But do you like my mic?
No, I don't. I don't. Please.
Is that comfortable? Is this uncomfortable?
This is no, don't, man. Honestly, can I take the mic?
Sure.
Now that's the number one thing you don't do. As I learned that in broadcasting school, you never give up the microphone. See, now I have the power. This Bob Barker thing.
Yeah.
You're what is this? Rock 100.5. Mm-hmm. This is the worst interview I've ever done, and he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
No.
The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this?